Hi everyone, hope you're all having a great day. Today, we're diving into a tense and emotional story where Mai and Min believe they've outsmarted everyone, but the truth is already closing in on them. The police are watching every move, waiting for the right moment to strike, and Alex still doesn't know the full story. What will happen when he finally discovers the truth? Should he forgive Mai, the friend he once trusted, or let justice take its course and send her to prison? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss what happens next in this dramatic story. The room smelled faintly of perfume and stale air. Curtains half drawn, the weak light from the street outside cut thin lines across the bed. Mai sat at the edge, her body tense, eyes fixed on the floor. Min leaned back against the headboard, shirt unbuttoned, expression calm, too calm. He watched her silently for a while before speaking. "You're shaking," he said softly, almost kind. She didn't answer. Min smiled, a thin, controlled curve. "The first time is always like this. Fear, guilt, doubt. It's normal." Mai looked up, eyes wet. "I didn't want any of this." He tilted his head. "Didn't you? You made a choice, Mai. Now we see it through. After the next deal, everything will be fine. You just sit back and count the money." Her voice was a whisper. "No, I can't." "You can," he interrupted. His tone was still calm, but something cold hid underneath. "You're in too deep to walk away now." He stood, buttoned his shirt, checked his reflection in the mirror. Inside his mind, a single thought circled like smoke. Her weakness is showing. She'll never fight me now. From this moment, she's mine to control. Out loud, he said gently, "Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Everyone does." Mai pulled the blanket around herself, as if it could protect her from him, or from what she'd become. Outside, the night stretched quiet and deceptive. Min walked through the parking lot, phone pressed to his ear. His voice was low. "Everything's under control. She won't talk." He paused to light a cigarette. "Yes, the next step's in motion. Don't rush. Alex still trusts the system." He listened for a moment, then ended the call. He didn't notice the black car parked across the street, two figures inside watching through the rain-streaked windshield. Officer Tran lowered the binoculars slightly. "That's him," his partner murmured. Tran nodded. "But not the one we want. He's just the hand. We need the one giving orders." "So we wait?" "We wait," Tran said. "They think the case is cold. That's how we catch all of them." He started the engine. The car melted back into the flow of traffic, disappearing into the night. Hours later, Mai unlocked the door to her house. The stillness inside felt heavier than the air outside. She kicked off her shoes and sat on the sofa. The lights were too bright, so she left only one lamp on. The familiar smell of tea and fabric softener should have been comforting. It wasn't. Her mother's voice came from the hallway. "Mai, you're home late." Mai hesitated. "I had work." Her mother, a gentle woman with kind eyes dulled by years of worry, walked over and sat beside her. "You look pale. Something happened?" Mai stared at her hands. The words came out haltingly, fragments slipping through her defenses. "I made a mistake, me. I trusted the wrong person. Now I don't know how to fix it." Her mother reached out, squeezing her hand. "If you did wrong, you fix it. If you can't, you face it, but you don't hide from it." Tears formed in Mai's eyes. "It's not that simple." "It never is," her mother said softly. "But you're my daughter. I'll help you. We'll find a way." Mai nodded, unable to speak. Her mother stood, heading to the kitchen. "Drink something warm. I'll make tea." When she disappeared behind the doorway, Mai sat alone again. The ticking clock filled the silence. For the first time, she noticed how empty the house felt when guilt was louder than any noise. She looked around, at the neat living room, the framed photo on the wall of her smiling family, and felt a sudden ache, as if she no longer belonged in that picture. Her phone buzzed. A new message. No name, just a number she didn't recognize. She opened it. "Stay silent, or end up crippled." Her hands trembled so hard the phone almost slipped. She stared at the words until the screen dimmed. Then she locked the phone and placed it face down on the table, as if hiding it could erase it. The image of Min's calm face returned to her mind, his voice steady and low, saying, "Don't talk." Her mother returned moments later with 2 cups of tea. "Here, drink. You'll feel better." Mai forced a smile. "Thank you." Her mother studied her quietly. "Whatever it is, don't carry it alone. Secrets eat people alive." Mai swallowed hard, eyes lowering to the steaming cup. "I know." But she didn't tell her. At that same hour, Officer Tran sat in the small operations room, reviewing the latest recovery data. On the screen, more of the deleted text thread appeared. Timestamps connecting Mai's phone to Min's. Truck. License plate changed. Payment received. Delete everything. Next one in 2 weeks. He tapped the desk. "We've got enough to confirm their link." His partner leaned closer. "Do we move now?" "Not yet," Tran said. "The network's bigger. Min's just bait. Someone's still feeding him from inside." He turned off the monitor and leaned back. "Let them think we've given up. The next message will lead us straight to the one in charge." Back at Mai's house, the tea had gone cold. Her mother had gone to bed, but Mai remained on the couch, staring at the floor. The phone lay silent beside her. Every creak in the house made her flinch. She whispered to herself, "I just wanted to fix things." Outside, the rain started again, soft but endless. It tapped against the windows like faint knocking, steady, patient, impossible to ignore. Mai closed her eyes, trying to hold on to the sound of her mother's voice instead of Min's. But even in silence, his words followed her. "You can't walk away now." The phone buzzed again. Another message. "Good girl. Keep quiet." Mai dropped the phone as if it burned her. She pressed her palms to her face, trembling. The lamp flickered once, then steadied. Somewhere across town, in a cluttered police office, the same phone number appeared on a new monitor, flagged and traced. Tran's voice broke the quiet. "We've got him again. The network's live." He leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "This time, we don't miss." And as the night thickened outside, Mai sat alone in her living room, half in shadow, half in light, trapped between the mistakes she made and the fear she couldn't escape. The late afternoon light spilled through the wooden shutters, painting soft gold across the old bamboo table. Its surface was worn smooth by years of use, every mark a small memory. Tuna sat across from Alex, pouring tea into 2 chipped cups. The gentle sound of water filled the still air. Alex sat quietly, his fingers tracing the rim of his cup. His face was calm, but his eyes were heavy with thought. Tuna watched him for a moment before speaking. "You've been quiet all day." Alex exhaled slowly. "I've been thinking." "About the shipment?" He nodded. $40,000. Gone, just like that. His tone was even, but every word carried weight. "I keep replaying it. The mistakes, the trust, the faces. I can't stop." Tuna rested her hands lightly on the table. "Alex," she said softly, "sometimes life doesn't take something from us. It teaches us." He looked up, his expression skeptical, but listening. She continued, her voice steady and warm. "You lost $40,000 this time, but if this hadn't happened, maybe one day you'd lose 400,000 or more. Think of it as a lesson, expensive, but necessary." Her words settled between them, quiet and certain. Alex stared at her for a long moment, then let out a short breath that was almost a laugh. "Such simple words," he said, "yet they carry more truth than everything I've been telling myself." Tuna smiled, a soft, knowing smile. Alex leaned back, his voice gentler now. "Why didn't I see it that way? Only someone with a kind and forgiving heart like yours could turn something so big into something so small. You're right. What's wrong or right, the law will take care of it. Our job is to be happy with the moment we have." Tuna raised an eyebrow, teasing. "This student seems bright, and he's learning fast." Alex chuckled, the sound genuine, light. "Good teacher, good student." They both laughed quietly, and for a moment, the old bamboo table between them felt like a bridge between chaos and peace. By the time the sun began to lower, the light had turned soft and amber. A breeze drifted across the small pond behind the house, carrying the scent of grass and warm earth. Alex stood at the edge, a small bucket of fish feed in his hand. Tuna sat nearby, holding Henry close. The baby's wide eyes followed every movement of the shimmering water, his tiny fingers opening and closing in delight. "He likes this place," Alex said with a faint smile. Tuna nodded. "It's peaceful here. Even the air feels softer." Alex threw a handful of feed into the pond. Ripples spread across the water, scattering the golden reflections of the sky. Fish broke the surface, glinting silver in the light. Henry made a sound, a soft, bubbling laugh that made them both smile. Tuna looked down at him. "He's talking to the fish again." Alex grinned. "Maybe he's warning them to behave." She laughed, adjusting Henry in her arms. "Or maybe he's saying thank you for making his dad smile again." Alex turned toward her, his gaze gentle. "You always find meaning in everything." Tuna looked back at him, her eyes calm and kind. "Only in the things that deserve it." The light shimmered across the water as they stood there, a quiet stillness between them. After a while, Tuna sat down on the wooden plank stretching over the pond, gently rocking Henry in her arms. Alex joined her, their shoulders nearly touching. "Do you ever miss the city?" he asked after a moment. She shook her head. "No, the city was noise and people who never saw me. Here, I can breathe." Alex looked out at the water. "That's why I built this place, for peace. I just forgot to live in it." Tuna smiled softly. "Then live now. The fish don't care about your money." He laughed quietly. "Maybe I should be more like them." "Simple?" she asked. "Unworried," he said. "Just floating, trusting the water to hold me." "Maybe you're finally learning," she teased. "I have a good teacher." Henry made another small noise, reaching for the rippling light. Tuna caught his hand gently. "Not yet, little one," she whispered. Alex watched them both, the sight filling something inside him that words couldn't reach. "You know," he said after a pause, "this moment, it feels right, like I'm exactly where I should be." Tuna looked out over the pond. "That's because you stopped fighting it," she said. "Peace isn't found, it's allowed." The world around them glowed, the water, the grass, the soft streaks of orange sky. Crickets began to hum, the day folding gently into evening. Henry yawned, his tiny body relaxing in his mother's arms. Tuna smiled, rocking him softly. "Looks like someone's ready for bed." Alex stood, brushing the dirt from his hands. He reached out to help her up, careful not to wake the baby. As they walked back toward the house, the fading light stretched long across the grass. Behind them, the pond shimmered faintly, reflecting their silhouettes, a man, a woman, and a child, surrounded by calm. Alex glanced at Tuna, his voice low. "You were right, losing $40,000. Maybe it was worth what I found today." Tuna smiled, her tone tender. "Then I'd say the lesson's complete." The night settled softly around them. The air smelled of grass and flowers, and for the first time in weeks, Alex's heart felt light again, as if the world had finally, quietly, forgiven him. After losing $40,000 in a fraudulent deal, Alex turns to Tuna for comfort and wisdom. While he struggles with betrayal and doubt, she reminds him that every loss carries a lesson, that sometimes life takes something only to give back peace. Meanwhile, Mai and Min believe they're safe after deceiving Alex, unaware that the police are quietly watching their every move. As Mai drowns in guilt and fear, Min tightens his control, thinking he still holds all the power. But the truth is closing in, and it's only a matter of time before everything unravels. In a quiet moment by the pond, Alex begins to see his loss differently, not as failure, but as freedom, while fate prepares to reveal the final price of deceit.